We're back on the boards. Peter and Jackie. Well, then, Chris, what's going on? That's the longest you'd let me go. And we're doing another show. We're doing another show. Another podcast. I feel like Rip Van Winkle. I've been sitting. We're back. We're back. 2025.
Next thing you know, you're going to tell me we have a pretty girl to interview.
We had a tremendous female comedian. I think that's the way you should approach this.
Stand out and wait. Well, where did I go foul? With pretty or with girl?
Well, I don't know. Let the audience judge. Stand-up memories.
I don't think you even say female comedian. I think you just have to say comedian and let them work it out for themselves.
You might be right.
Hold on a minute. Have a look. All of the above.
All of the above. I am Peter Bales. This is Jackie.
I almost forgot your name. It's been so long.
Jackie the Joke Man, Mark.
You look so much older. How has it been since we did it?
It's been a couple months. Looking here. Oh, I've really let myself.
Where'd you put your cane?
All right. It's behind the chair. Can we please get to our guests?
Sure.
And
this is the most fun for me.
I know.
Just fooling around with you. And the three people that watch the show like that too.
He's wrong. We are really popular, and he doesn't want to admit it.
No.
Oh.
Because that's that jinxes it. The whole world will watch it.
But I don't want to jinx it.
The whole world is watching.
We have such a wonderful guest.
Why don't you introduce the guests?
I will right now. Okay.
This one?
Yes.
Our guest, her name is Rosie Fiumara.
Oh my God, you got it right.
I got it right. Rosie, only introduce her.
Now say it again for me.
Rosie Fiumara.
Like, see you tomorrow?
Like, sort of. I'm going to go with that because maybe then people, have gotten so many different.
Rosie, see you tomorrow.
Rosie, see you tomorrow.
I like that. She is a fairly new comedian on the scene, and she is really, really funny, and we are going to be...
She's the new Rosie.
I guess the original Rosie would be Rosie O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the same hair color, but that's about where...
I'm not touching. Oh, I'm not touching where it... But there are definitely differences between the two Rosies.
I think so. And they both compare favorably.
We're both from Atlanta.
Both are from Long Island.
And both very talented.
Very super talented, both of them. I love both Rosies.
And you would.
I would. Yeah. Rosie, you'll love this. Because I'm going to get a plug in here. It gets irritated. Rosie, I'm proud to say.
Don't you have a comedy class?
I have a comedy class called Stand-Up University.
Those people tell me they set their stopwatches how long it's going to be each show before he plugs a stupid thing.
No, the way we're going
can't be that bad.
So it's going to run out. You're not going to have a chance to say anything.
Who cares?
Well, I care. Look, I care. Rosie, I almost said Rosie O'Donnell.
See?
Rosie Fiumara. She tomorrow started at a comedy class here on Long Island called Stand-Up University. I have a fellow comedian, Rich Walker, and we teach it together for people who are starting out in comedy, and then they go and they hit the clubs and they do their thing. And some people keep going and succeed, and some people,
I hate to say it, but it's a great class, and Pete and Richie are really good, and their graduation ceremonies are always fun. I love to go there. It's a really interesting array of whoever, Now, we're going to talk like the Star Wars bar.
That's a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, this wasn't meant to be, but take it down.
Well, I'm taking it as a compliment. Comedy is for everybody. It doesn't matter your race, your ethnicity, your gender, whoever you are. A comedy could be.
Politics don't matter.
Your politics.
You don't hear about your politics.
We don't care if you're a Yankee fan or a Met fan. That's a Rosie.
That's not what I meant.
What did you mean?
I don't know.
All right. This is Rosie Fiumara, and she's a terrific, fairly new comedian on the scene, and we're going to let her talk at this point.
And there are a few minutes to say who she is, where she's from.
Well, it's not a job interview.
Well, it is to me. I don't know her.
Well, I met her. She's an alumni of Sandby University, but the point is she's out there and she's being real funny. And I wanted to, I'll pass the ball to you now. After all of this time, you're very patient. I know that you're out there and you're doing comedy, and I wanted to tell me what you like the most about it and what you find the most challenging about being out there doing stand-up comedy in this day and age.
Okay, wow. That's a good one. What do I love the most about it? I love the thrill of being on that stage and the challenge of making people laugh.
And that's the whole.
It's all nice ashray rush. There's nothing else.
Is anybody else distracted by your hands that are...
I can't say. I'm just gonna have to sit.
No.
No,
He's just upset that you were covering up your chest.
there's nothing.
Unroll.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
Where did you get your? When was the first time you got a laugh that you got a rush from? That you were like,
The stand-up university. I call it my recital.
that's what? What about
Graduation ceremony.
you know all those funny people at the dinner table and all that stuff? Or,
Oh, it's what growing up? Yeah. I used to perform for my family. My parents used to pip me out at every event and every barbecue, and they'd be like, tell Aunt Diane and Uncle George that story about the bridal party and the purple dresses with Leah. Tell them that story. Tell them the Tundra. Yeah, they were like, act like Dad when we were in Italy and he got emotional at the Vatican. And I'd be like, and they would just, and I would do it, and people would tell me, you should try stand-up, or you should tell us that story. And at the end of the day of work, because I work in bridal retail, so you meet like insane people.
so we're gonna rise this.
Yeah, and it's just the families and the emotions and the craziness that ensues, and my staff, and when you're dealing with so many women and so many
Was it
people,
your store?
it's my family's business, and I'm still involved. So I run it now, but I grew up in the family business. So the dynamic of working with my brother and working with my parents and working with the staff and doing all the different things that come in a family business, from starting as like running around getting people coffee and Windexing to now running it. I know every aspect of it, and there's so many crazy things that happen that at the end of the night you have to decompress. So, you lock the door, you're doing the drawer, and we just start laughing. And then
That's all the idiots and all. And
and who comes with no underwear, and who's hairy, and who was a bitch, and who was nasty, and who was funny, and, who's marrying that one, and can you believe it, and we would laugh, and that's how I would perform in the office.
and we talked. Has anybody ever done a sitcom about
A bridal?
a bridal? That just
It's a great idea.
just the two sentences there. It just sounded
I thought about
so right.
I've thought about that actually, and I've thought about, I remember going to the movies, and I had this story in my head that I worked at a bridal show, and I fell in love with one of the grooms of one of my brides. And just run away, but I had this whole fantasy of this conflict of like, and they were a terrible match, and we were a perfect match, and the conflict of me being the one that was involved in her wedding.
So you designed a dress that was too big or too small or too.
Well, all these things could be, right? So then I go to the movies years and years ago, and I sit down and I'm watching Jennifer Lopez steal my movie.
No, what was the movie? What was the movie?
You remember? And then it's been done.
It was done. And she fell in love, and I'm watching it. I was like,
Idols shopping a lot.
I forget the exact premise of the movie, but I was just like, I remember just sitting there going, all right, well, there's my idea.
In other words, it's a little too close.
It was done. I was like, all right.
That could be done again.
But a sitcom would be,
Because these
like a series would be better rather than like a sitcom, but like
these brides come in, and they are clueless. You told us that brides would come in and be in denial about their weight.
everything. They were denied.
Yeah, like I'm a size 4 and they're a size 44 or something like that.
Or they're going to lose the weight, which now actually happens with all of these injections. So now I have the opposite problem. Years ago, it would be like, oh, I'm gonna lose the weight. They sign for sizes, they don't fit in, this, that, and the other thing. But now they're actually losing the weight to the point where they're coming in and like the dresses are.
So it gets measured, and then a month from then or 2 months from there, be a shadow of the former selves.
They walk in and they're 40 pounds lighter 2 weeks later.
Oh,
that's
the opposite problem.
I hear Eric in my head like, oh, Sam Shale. Though I hear the joke.
Russ, that's a reference to Eric. Yeah, and again, Paul Conti, Cadillac, whatever. Oh, God, I hate that whole.
Eric Haft, another comedy friend that makes fun of the Ozempic commercial, but now they come in and they're thinner than they were when you fitted them. It used to be the other way around.
Yes.
Can you fix it real quick?
Sometimes we had to do like the corset lace up back.
Now, God, this is spore interviews. If a woman comes in, I know they're spending a lot of money on these dresses. I mean, are there different levels of dress shops? There are low level, mid.
We do like more of a high mid range to really haute couture, like very expensive.
But somebody comes in and orders this dress. A week later, a month. When do people sometimes change their mind? Does a girl ever come in to get fitted for the dress, and like a week later says halt the presses? Or
yeah, they cut. Sometimes they call the next day. Sometimes they're in their fittings, and the wedding's in 2 weeks, and they're like, "I hate it."
Yes. Well, they get a phone call or text saying, "Yeah."
Well, you can't give the cost back.
It depends on, you know what, there's so many variables. It depends on the designer. It depends on if it's a good dress for me, I'll keep it. Maybe let them pick something else. It depends. But if it's a size 26 and it's discontinued and it's like hideous, I'm like, it's your.
But why do you want a wedding dress?
Are you married?
I am.
Well, why would you do more for?
Well, not for me, for the store. Like, if it's like, I'm good.
When she said, I'll eat for it, I know she.
I didn't put my own wedding gown. We even like my own wedding gown.
A lot of times you see the mother coming in and putting a lot of pressure on the bride.
Yes.
For a certain, that's not going to bore her.
You have all of that. Sometimes you have the parents that are like amazing with anything you want as long as you're happy. But then you also have the mom that lives vicariously through the daughter and she wants what she wants. And you have the sister that's jealous and pissed off. And then you have the cousin that's with her that just doesn't want her to look better.
The whole gamut of every.
We have to be like, I'm like a therapist without the degree. You take them aside. Why don't you come back on your own and we'll talk about it on the side? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. You know, can I get you water? We have brides that don't eat for like 2 days leading up to trying on dresses so they feel thin and then they pass out. We have to get the sugar.
What if a girl comes in with like really hairy arms?
That is fine. You got to see the other hairy part.
But do you suggest that they wear sleeve length or anything like that? Or?
In a nice way, we make a lot of suggestions that they think
they can be hairy. That's not going to show at a wedding dress.
No, but it's going to show later that night, or we have to look at it.
Get the children out of the room.
Oh, you know, like what do they call it? Some women have like men have a soul patch and women have a landing strip, but sometimes they match and they meet.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, the trail of tears for the belly button on down.
Or from the chest down.
Real?
Oh, yeah. There's things and then there's women that come in August wearing jeans with no underwear. And then they want to try on wedding gowns. Like samples that other people are going to eventually try.
Happen to have any of those jeans lingering?
No, I'm good. They take those home with them.
Yeah.
I had to invest in disposable underwear.
Disposable underwear?
Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon in packet.
Because they don't want them trying stuff.
They don't want them trying it.
And they don't want their best friend right up against.
They get offended. Like, I don't want to wear those. Those look like hospital panties. Well, they're better than no panties.
I've always thought this. This is a pet peeve. You know how men.
I don't think they should be disposable panties. I think they should have like your dress on or my dress on, and go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, but this has always bothered me. Maybe some people watching would agree. Men don't try on underwear. I mean, then you open the packet when you get home. You don't get a chance to try them on, decide. Okay, but women try on bras, and then they don't like it, and they put it back, and then that's a bra.
That's weird. I'm not sure lactating. Then it's okay.
I still think it's inappropriate. I wouldn't want to try on a bra that somebody else tried on.
I wouldn't be sitting here with you if you were trying on bras.
Well, I mean, what I do on the weekends is my business.
My mother called them brassieres, which I just still think is the funniest word.
It is such a great word, brassiere.
A brassiere.
Now, you have a great background for stand-up comedy.
I have a lot of material.
Yeah,
I have.
No, Janice, a lot of this bridesmaid, as the bride front of the shop, is that a big humpier act?
It is, but
I think I was at her graduation.
Like,
I were, but there's so many people.
You performed at
Well, I tell a few jokes, but there's so many of you guys, one after the other. You know, if I know me, I look and said, "Wow, she's very pretty," and I don't know.
You told me that actually.
Oh, hard to believe.
Of course, but I do remember you being funny because he suggested you like, "Yeah, sure," you know.
So what's the feeling you get? You go out there and you're having a good set. And explain to people, a lot of new comedians or people thinking about going into comedy, watch. Can you get addicted to this?
Oh, I am. I am absolutely addicted to it. It's that, I keep saying, it's this rush that you get. It's this, like when you get your first lap of the night and you're like a little bit nervous and you walk up there and you hear your name being introduced and you go up those little stairs and you get on the stage and you take the mic and you put it back and then you're still nervous.
That's an eternity.
And then you ease in and you get that one laugh and then you can just, it's like the air comes out and then you can just flow. And if something hits, great. And then if it doesn't, now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I used to get upset sort of, and it would show. Now I'm like, all right,
I still got something coming.
I got, and it's like now I'm feeling more comfortable where I can kind of flow around it, or now I've done it enough where I can either I've changed it or I've moved on or I'm going to work on it or I've added something, changed it.
Oh, Lori, but that whole waiting, I just said it to poor stagehand the other night, like I waited however many minutes and I think Joe Probella had another 5 or 10 minutes to go. And you stand in the wings watching them. And I've been doing this 45 years and it's still an eternity waiting for him to finish. And I turned to the stage manager and said, Chris Rock 40 years ago said, we don't get paid for doing our show. We get paid for the 20 minutes before the show. Well, you're pulling your hair out, walking around. Is this going to work? Because it's no matter how well you're known or anything, every time you walk out there, for all practical purposes, it's a job interview. You're working on every single person, whether they realize it or whether you realize it. It's a little intimidating, and that's what. The more time you have to think about that.
Yeah.
But then you're out there and you say hello, and everybody's laughing. It's like, what was the concern?
I got to tell you, I've told a lot of people, including you in the class, that doing well on stage, doing stand-up, is better than sex, especially the way I do. See?
The sex or the funny?
Well, both.
Oh, okay.
No, but you know what I mean. It's like acting in orchestra.
It's the best thing. It really is. I love it. I really want to get funnier. I want to get better at it. I want to expand.
One thing I really think, like you said, it's addicting, but I think it's addicting from the beginning. Because if it wasn't addicting right away, I still get concerned to go out there and I look back and go, how did I have the nerve to walk on stage in 1979? How dare I? But you had to be hooked so badly that you just couldn't wait to do better and go again and go again. And, you take a lot of hard lumps, You
take a lot of hard lumps. It's called bombing. And that's a bad feel. And people who haven't experienced, they don't know how bad it is. Everybody. I don't care if you're Jerry Seinfeld or, of course, Jackie bombs.
That's why it feels so good when it works.
Yeah.
It's just like playing a sport. People say, we lost. Who cares? If you don't get upset about losing, you have no right to celebrate winning. You got to take the good with the bad, which really sucks,
Yeah?
Luckily, I had never bombed.
Well, it's
a long time ago, I made this analogy that nobody ever agreed with, and I think it's so accurate. One of the first things that I fell in love with was the first time I heard somebody use the expression flop sweat. Because I always thought if I was on stage or telling a joke or doing something for somebody and it didn't work, and you get that horrible, horrible feeling, and I honestly, and I'm not a religious guy, I thought that was God's way of telling me, you're not made to do this, you shouldn't do this, get the hell. And then one day I heard somebody use the expression flop sweat, and I'm like, boys, when it's not going well and you just get that horrible chill. And I think I was on stage one night and I said, you know what bombing is like? You know when you pull down your pants and you go to sit on the toilet? But this has happened to just about everybody, where you pull down your pants and you go to sit on the toilet, but you forgot to put the ring down. And you go sailing past where it was supposed to be and right into the water. And both things like, what an asshole! And that's the horrible feeling.
Is that happening to you a lot?
Not since last week, but I mean, not, but no, that has happened. And it's like, it really is it's a hard thing to describe
And you get not used to it, but you deal with it better the longer you've done it. I mean,
right. There's no dealing with it well, but you do deal with it,
So, Rosie, let's be fair. Let's give you time to talk about something serious. Are there special challenges for women who are starting out or doing stand-up that a guy like me would be clueless about?
There are some advantages, because I feel like on a lot of shows, they're looking to have a woman. Like if there's like a dinner show or a theater show and there's 5 people on, a lot of times they'll want a woman, right?
Right.
So there's one slot that somebody's going to get, Okay. And there's a much smaller percentage of female comedians.
But it's growing.
It is growing, and it's great. I was at a roast on Friday night, and so say there was a panel of 10 people, 2 of them were women, and to me, they were the standouts. And I was so happy to see that. There was a girl named Grace Fiocco, I think her name is, and Allison Persky. They were fantastic. And I was so happy because, like, a lot of times people are like, oh, they were female comics. They kind of like, I feel like there's like they get overlooked unless they're superstars.
And also, like, I'm sure it is so much better for women now than it was. Maybe just women altogether in the workplace or wherever. But in comedy too. I mean, the old days, going to the condo, these poor girls would be stuck in a condo with the low lives that we are or were, not that anybody's doing anything that horrible, but just to live with guys that are slobs or.
I think the term dirtbag comes.
Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think that like in like say corporate America and other different types of subcultures and different types of careers, things are more regulated. I feel like this subculture, there really isn't any type of regulation. And you have people that are drinking and you have men that are funny and they feel because they could say whatever they want on stage and that things can get crass, that sometimes it carries over.
Especially after they have a big set before holes it is big and,
They're feeling good about a set before or after a show in a green room. I think sometimes in this particular field, things are still a little bit more unregulated than they would be in other.
But your
eyes, this is in without a holy way on it.
I gotta say they're better than they were.
Yeah, but she's really good at handling that sort of thing. I give you a lot of credit. Remember the time you told her to go to hell and get out of the green room?
I did.
She handled me.
I did. I did. I handled.
What did you touch
her tremendously?
I'm kidding, because she knows, unfortunately, that I'm harmless. Which a guy never wants to be harmless. I don't want you to think of being harmless. I can go off in any moment. Yeah.
You're a good friend.
You do. Did you hear what she said? She surrounds herself with good people. And so do I. So do I, with some exceptions.
Is that?
Okay. What kind of light? That's funny. But, so, you're out there, you got to keep doing it, and you're doing it. And you tried new stuff, and you get mad when the new stuff doesn't work, right?
Hate it.
I hate it. We all hate it. There's no way to.
But I tried new stuff last Friday on the front end. Like I started with it, and it worked, and it was great. I was so excited. Not that the stuff was great, but I felt great about it. You know what I mean? Like I got a good response to it. And then it was like, okay, good.
Do you, nobody likes suggestions, but do you ever open up and do a Q&A about the bridal business? I bet you if you did a Q&A, you get such crazy questions from people. Your show would write itself.
Probably. I've asked my staff, because my memory, I'm like, do you guys remember any stories that I might have forgotten? And they've been giving me, don't you remember that guy, Larry, that came in that lied about the room dying, that he was on his deathbed, his future son? And
things are moving so fast that it went right in one ear and out the other.
No, but it was stuff that was really funny that I had forgotten. It turned out that really he wasn't on his deathbed, but he had gotten arrested for breaking into a coworker's bedroom and stealing her panties in Connecticut. I was like, oh my God, that's the best.
Oh, that's such safe. That's gold.
Stop all that. I have your stories.
You should have a notebook.
Oh, I have a few
on your desk, and every time something weird happens. And the thing is, when you're writing a script or a sitcom or a show, it doesn't have to be true. You could take the morsel of the guy, and you could have him going home and boiling the panties. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. No, absolutely. Thank you, Jack.
I didn't ever do that. Okay. I don't think.
Well, first of all, we're going to pronounce her name correctly. Rosie Fiumara.
Correct.
And she is out there all over the place. Watch for her doing this. To see you.
I've been at Governor's and the brokerage a lot. And
You're on Long Island?
Yeah, you're on Long Island.
Long Island has a strong comedy scene that competes with Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, Manhattan, and other places with a Long Island alumni. That was a good plug for Long Island. It was also appreciated there. We absolutely do. And so it's Rosie Fiumara. How do you spell your last name?
Fiumar.
You need to change that. To what? To something easy.
No, it's easy once you get it. Fiumara. Rosie Fiumara. And yes, you can see her at the Governor's Clubs and all over the place. Alumni of Stand-Up University and Italian American.
Well, my mother's Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Well, her father was Sicilian descent.
So that's why you get the feeling she could explode at any moment.
And you're sad. Oh, I can't.
I would have been a lot nicer.
I'm much calmer, Sylvia. And it's probably because of the cycling frog.
Oh, we're going to go out real quick. Can we mention this at the end of the show? I'm looking at our producer. Just gave me the okay. Hand me one. You grab one. You grab one. No more. Cycling frog. This is cycling frog, and this is THC seltzer. And boy, it's fun. You can get buzzed, but you don't get
sloshed.
Right. And
you have 2 milligram, without 5 milligram, 10 milligrams, 25 milligram, and 50 milligram. Last night, it took me a 10 milligram to get through the Oscars.
This was a great Oscars. This is an Oregon-grown hemp with CBD and different strengths, THC. And it's delicious, all kinds of different flavors.
But I know that you got to say that. It's not just CBD. It's actual THC. And it'll give you a nice ride.
It will.
Very nice ride.
If you're watching a movie, drink this, and it will make even a Kevin Costner film. Oh, that's horrible. It's just, what was the one where he was on the water the whole time? Waterworld.
They should start bringing these into the comedy clubs, and it'll be funny.
They're so great.
Anyway, and we have a discount, and all you have to do is call them. And
go online, cyclingfrog.com, and the discount code is capital S, capital U, capital M, 20, which is stand-up memories, and the 20 is for the 20% off.
How about that? Are you impressed?
Oh, look at this, discount codes and all.
Great stuff.
Thank you, Rosie, so much for coming. And you are
not even allowed to say sweetie, right?
No, don't say sweet.
My father called every waitress honey his whole life. And I still do that. And people give me looks. I'm like, go to hell. I'm being nice. I'm like, hey, honey. That's how I prefer to eat it. That's gross.
Thank you for watching Stand Up Memories. Rosie again. Thank you. Jackie, as always. What season are we on? We're on season 5. 5 seasons.
Thank you, Bess, for having me.
You're very well. Appreciate you. See you next time on Stand Up Memories.